Just me and you, Mads.
Oh, cheers!
Movie review time! And why didn't Mum come to see this one?
Because she would have hated it.
We know that. So what are we reviewing? We are reviewing...
Unsane.
Unsane. Not insane.
Unsane.
Directed by Steven Soderbergh, who was a director that I used to really admire. Made Sex, Lies and Videotape. Made Erin Brockovich. Also made last year's Lucky Logan, was it? Was that what it's called? So my take on the director has always been that he's a very talented director and can make very good films. But there have been some real turkeys in there, some real duds. So coming to this film, I was a little bit cautious.
But I really like Claire Foy.
Oh, of course,
From The Crown.
Yes, Claire Foy plays the Queen.
Yes, it's a very different character.
Yeah, and I thought your theory. What was your theory on why she took the part, perhaps?
It was the complete opposite of Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah,
she was American and she wasn't royal. So I think she's trying to get out of the portrayal that everybody knows her as Queen Elizabeth. So I think she's trying to get out of.
It's almost like a really strident attempt not to be costume dramery.
Yeah, it was really scarring. I'm still a bit like.
Yeah, I am.
Because I was expecting it to be quite stressful because the trailer looks stressful, and it's about a woman who's been stalked by this man that she knew from her old job for 2 years. Yeah. So she moves state to try and get away from him, and she keeps seeing him, like she'll see other people but they look like him.
That's right.
And it's all in her head. So, she tries to find someone that can help her get rid of these thoughts, and then she accidentally gets involved in going into a mental institution.
Which I found the most obvious parallel to that in terms of film history is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
The few scenes when she was with the doctor, the boss, was really intense. Like when she's trying to convince him that she's sane, but she seems insane because she's trying to convince him.
Because she's over-defending herself, isn't she? Over-explaining.
You just feel for her because you know that she's not as insane as they think she is.
And yet, she's not. But I think Maddie, because Maddie had seen the trailer, I hadn't seen the trailer for this. My problem in it was, there was one point where you said, oh, that's the stalker, and I went, no, it's not, she's mad. I'd done the thing that the institution did, which was I bought into thinking that she was untrustworthy in her mind.
I quite like that, though, because she has a lot of imagining it, and then when she actually sees him, you kind of still think that she's just not snapping out of her imagination. Yeah. But then you know that it's for real because he won't leave.
Absolutely. So it's a very intense psychological thriller for the most part, and then it flips into becoming truly horrific.
Yeah, because I felt that the beginning of the film was completely different. I quite like that, though, because it was to show how normal her life was and how quickly it escalated. Yeah. But I wasn't too sure at first. No. With her American accent and everything.
Yeah, it took a bit of getting used to. Yeah. I kept expecting Prince Philip to wander in, or for her to sort of, stroke the corgis. One of the facts I was not even aware of was, explain how it's shot. Well,
it's all filmed on an iPhone. And I thought when I watched the trailer that it was the way it was shot and whatever device they were using seemed very different. It was quite close up and small. Yeah. But I just thought they were being funky with the camera. But it was actually an iPhone. When you know that it's shot on an iPhone, at first you're like, oh yeah, I can tell. Yeah. But you kind of lose yourself in it.
That's true.
And I kind of forgot that it was.
Because there was a sort of novelty factor as we started off in the film, and I thought, oh wow, okay, this is cool. And I thought there was some it's beautifully shot. I mean, it's really creatively shot. And if it is genuine, I mean, there's sometimes they have a bit of a sort of story, don't they, around these films? It's a buzz story that it's all shot on an iPhone. But I was looking at those shots, and they've used Steadicams and stuff, but it does look amazing. Some of the problems I had with it, I felt some of the bit parts that were kind of crucial to the story were quite weak. So there was one nurse specifically that was very bad. I didn't think the mum was very strong.
No, I thought she was good in that. She was strong in that one scene when she's being told that when she's telling her that she's in the mental institution, and she's like panicking like a mum would. Yeah. But there were a few scenes where she was quite weak. But then again, there were like some really strong supporting actors.
Yeah, well, the girl, there's a girl, Juno Temple, who's very powerful, isn't she?
She's not in a lot. I thought
Isn't
she was really good in that.
She was properly, I mean, without
We
being
believed that she was.
Yeah, absolutely,
insane.
absolutely, and I thought the way they painted the scenes in the institute were very good.
Yeah.
Claire Foy, I think, you're right, improves throughout the film.
Yeah, I could see her getting more comfortable with the character.
Yeah, and there were two particular scenes that were quite dramatic. There was one where, without giving anything away, she encounters a certain narcotic that she possibly shouldn't have, and the camera work.
Oh.
It was crazy.
It was so well done. I had goosebumps. And I was like sinking into the cinema seat.
Yeah, and so they sort of
really
superimposed these two shots of the back of her head and the front of her head, and
she was like screaming over the top.
And I thought, did you not think? I mean, because obviously, I mean, your generation does most of everything on these iPhones.
Yeah.
I thought it used the intimacy of the lens of iPhones, because you
Yeah,
can put them right
really
up,
well.
didn't it?
Yeah.
So it lent it. I thought it lent like the horror.
Tried out everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it lent the horror of it. So you were really intensely in her face. You were intensely in.
Because I'd forgotten about it being on an iPhone, and when that scene happened, I was like, hang on, wait, this is actually being shot on an iPhone. This is insane.
Yeah, well, Unsane.
Crazy.
It was
Unsane.
We have to kind of give credit where credit's due to the other actors. We had Jay Farrow plays her sort of friend in the institution.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great character, yeah, and I thought
I loved him.
Their chemistry was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did. All their scenes together were really well done.
Yeah, but then of course Joshua Leonard played the stalker.
He was he was horrible, but he was really good.
But he was horrible.
He was the reason why he was horrible was because he was so normal.
Yes.
Like incredibly normal.
Yeah, ordinary.
But not normal. He was so normal. He was abnormal.
Yeah, he was so utterly believable as a stalker type.
Yeah, and he truly believed that he loved her. And there's this one really powerful scene between the two of them, which we won't say exactly happens, but it was really intense.
And I think it almost felt like it was a one take. There were some edits in there, but you felt like the actors had gone for it. I mean, I've read a few reviews that have been a bit critical, saying that as a film, it doesn't explore what stalkering means, that it just goes for the horror of the story, and it doesn't look at the sort of complexities of what it would be, that stalking has a psychological thing,
I thought there were some bits in there that really showed the fear of a stalker. It's that moment where he's sending all those texts.
That was so
they were popping
chilling.
up and she was like panicking, and when he sends the flowers. I thought she was really good at playing just the what the hell, this guy's crazy.
I was 19 when Sex, Lies and Videotape came out, but it was the first time in cinema that videotape was made. You could see the tape of the videotapeness on screen. So it became a very sort of trendy, it was very cool, it was a very sort of considered a very slick and smart sort of film. And in a weird way, he's gone full circle. He's arrived back at the tech of today.
Yeah.
And he's doing the same thing. And that was a very glossy film. I thought this was really inspiring for any filmmakers out there who want to pick up their iPhone.
Of my generation as well.
Yeah.
Because, me and my friend, we've been planning to make a short film.
Yeah.
And you kind of think, well, we'll shoot it on the phone, but it will be nowhere near as good as a proper camera.
Yeah.
But I think seeing a film like that, it really inspires kids of this generation.
Well, yeah, because you're right, because we shoot stuff on cameras like the one that's next to you that I think's in your shot. Maddie leant over at one point and said, I wonder how Claire Foy felt when she turned up on set and they had I wonder if they literally had an iPhone on a tripod.
No, could you imagine? They must have.
They must have done.
And also, Matt Damon's cameo in it was so good.
What a treat.
Like, he was in just for a few minutes, and it was quite a simple character, but he was so good.
I mean, he was so undramatic a character, and yet he was just so brilliantly natural. I wonder if they said to him, it was just, oh look, come over to our gaff, we're going to shoot a quick scene in the kitchen, we've got the Queen of Britain, end up with England in there, Claire Foy, and we've got an iPhone. Matt Damon?
Oh my god, he must have been like, what? I wasn't too sure about the ending.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why?
I quite liked the last scene, but that last shot, it really annoyed me.
Yeah,
she was halfway
strange.
Through movement. It really annoyed me.
It was a very odd last shot, you're right.
Could have just kept it blacked out. It was a really weird place to stop it.
It was a bit too amateurish, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought they were trying to go for something and it didn't really work.
They do take the story to its absolute logical conclusion. It does become a bit of a sort of Halloween style horror fest, almost a slasher fest. I think they just hold it back from it becoming a bit too ridiculous. I mean, there's
it was
none
on
of
the
that.
verge.
It was on the verge. It was
Then
on the
it
verge.
stopped itself.
I thought it was an incredibly inventive film.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of a modern Misery.
Yes. Oh my god. And there's one particular scene that you'll really understand what Maddie means by that. So okay, so let's get to the scores on the doors. What do we think we should give it?
Oh, you go first.
I think it shows the huge range of potential in something like this piece of kit. I thought the story was baggy to begin with. I thought Claire got into the part, you know, as it went along.
Yeah.
Some weak supporting cast. But by and large, it was a really efficient ride of a movie. So I'd probably give it 8 out of 10.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's quite high.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I agree with you on the inspiring others with the iPhone. At the beginning really didn't do it for me.
No.
I was really unsure at the beginning, but the ending picked it up for itself.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go for a 6 or a 7.
Ooh.
Maybe 7.
Oh,
7.
Okay. Yeah, 7, yeah, a bit more critical. And it's definitely not one for Mum. I mean,
Definitely not.
as I was watching
Maybe
it,
all mums out there.
He's here.